Hey you! Yes, you! Are you playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch? Do you think you're any good at it? Well, guess what? You're wrong! But don't worry, I can teach you how to get better. Let me teach you how to not suck at Mario Kart. First, let's take a look at your current situation. Okay, I see several problems. But first, let's take a brief look at the controls and controller for Mario Kart. In terms of controls, it's pretty simple. You have your standard go button, your first person view button, your item button, and your drift button. But for your steering, you have two options. You can use motion controls if you want to be utterly shamed for the rest of your life, or you can use the joystick provided by the Switch's controller. The joystick is clearly the optimal way to play. But what if I don't like steering with a joystick, you may ask? Fine. Let's at least try to fix how you're using those motion controls. First of all, your form and movements are horrendous. The controller is in your hands. Try to remember that. Second, the way you're steering looks like you're trying to wash a window. It's much easier to control the steering of your character if you make your movements a little more subdued and controlled, as opposed to looking like this is your first day on the school's cheerleading team. Another component of good driving in Mario Kart is drifting. It's extremely useful and can really help you become a great player. You seriously need some practice with it. For now, try to pull off drifts on any of the big curves you see on tracks, and then after you've mastered that, try drifting around tight turns to optimize your performance. One more thing we need to briefly discuss is tracks. You can't have a Mario game without tracks after all. Do your best to find small places to optimize your speed with drifts or small places to use boosts. There are paths on several tracks that can lead to slight boosts, so take as many of those as you can. And try not to call your family a bunch of cheaters for using these paths. Now that we've fixed all that, let's talk a bit about your attitude.
My attitude?
Yes, your attitude. It's embarrassing and it's a problem.
I don't have an attitude.
Get up on the beach, dummy! These tires are no good in the water. Go, hit the wall. What the hell's that thing? Oh, come on!
I see your point.
Great! Then let's get to it. First off, maybe try and act a bit less like a crying man-child during the race. You're literally the oldest person in the room. Try acting like it. Second, maybe try and find a little bit less joy when you beat your daughter in a race by only a fraction of a second. It's a little concerning how much joy you get from it. Oh, and lastly, if you really believe that your car or your tires suck, why not change them? Either try changing them or don't make excuses for your poor performance. Speaking of your kart choices, let's discuss your vehicle options and character selection. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there are 41 unique characters and 13,530 different vehicle combinations. With all these characters and vehicle combination options, you might be a little confused. I don't blame you. Before we jump into your kart selection, let's see your character choice. Waluigi. Okay, decent enough. He was a meme for a little while. You can keep playing as him. Now, let's see your vehicle choice. Okay, I like your choice of bike. And oh god, the wheels. Those wheels! Why those wheels? I can't do this. Someone get this man some better wheels! Sorry, almost lost my cool there for a second. Those things need an update. Maybe try some new wheels once in a while, since you're always complaining about them. Lastly, the glider. The glider isn't really a super important part, but it still affects gameplay. The one you have is fine, but try some other ones once in a while. Overall, your selection isn't too bad. You just need to improve on your gameplay. Okay, for my final set of critiques, let's dive deep into the true bread and butter of any Mario Kart game, the items. There are 22 distinct items in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and you managed to waste most of them. I'll just go through the highlights. Whenever you get a shell or banana, hold on to it for a little while so you can defend yourself, unless you have a clear shot on another racer. Some items, such as golden mushrooms, stars, and bullet bills, only come to those who are in the back of the race. So don't say you need a bullet when you're in 3rd or 4th place! Because guess what? You don't! Also, you don't need to angrily declare every time you get hit by any kind of item. It just makes people want to hit you more. Okay, I think that's it. Those are my tips on how to not suck at Mario Kart. And now that you've heard my tips, I'm sure you're gonna take these tips and use them when you're playing in the future, right? Right? What? No, what are you doing? You aren't using any of the tips I just told you to use. Your form is terrible. Your steering is all over the place. You're still using motion controls. Those wheels. No, don't use that yet. You're wasting items. Did you listen to a word I said? I can't do this anymore. Just end the video. End the video.